This is not how technological supremacy ends. Most people think this is about research collaboration. Canada and Japan signing agreements for quantum computing development and cybersecurity innovation, technical partnerships between universities and defense contractors, shared funding for theoretical physics research, the kind of scientific cooperation that fills academic journals and gets discussed at technology conferences. But when Canada commits $37 billion to developing quantum encryption systems through Japanese partnerships that completely exclude American oversight, that is not routine scientific collaboration. That is the systematic construction of cyber capabilities designed to make American digital surveillance obsolete. For 70 years, American cyber dominance operated on a simple principle. The United States controlled the foundational technologies that made digital communication possible. Internet protocols developed by American universities and military researchers. Encryption standards approved by American intelligence agencies. Semiconductor architectures designed by American companies. Software platforms built in American corporate laboratories. The entire digital infrastructure of global communication flowed through systems where American intelligence agencies maintained access, American companies controlled standards, and American military contractors provided the underlying technology that made secure communication theoretically possible but practically monitored. Trump destroyed that monopoly in 18 months, not through military action or economic sanctions, but by treating allies like subordinate territories whose technological sovereignty was negotiable. First, with threats to restrict technology exports to countries that didn't prioritize American interests. Then with demands that allied intelligence agencies share quantum research exclusively with American oversight. Then with explicit warnings that nations developing independent cyber capabilities would face retaliation for undermining American digital security. He assumed technological dependence meant permanent subordination, that American innovation advantages were insurmountable, that allies would accept limits on their technological sovereignty rather than risk American displeasure. Instead, he gave Canada the motivation to do what it should have done decades ago: build quantum computing capabilities that make American cyber surveillance irrelevant. Mark Carney announced the Canada-Japan Quantum Computing Alliance in Vancouver, February 8, 2026. Not in Ottawa, where diplomatic protocols would require American consultation, not through NATO channels where Washington could demand coordination. In British Columbia, standing next to Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, speaking directly to an audience that included executives from every major Canadian technology company and representatives from Japan's quantum research institutes. The numbers were staggering: 37 billion Canadian dollars over 7 years, matched by 28 billion yen from Japan, combined funding approaching $90 billion, specifically for quantum encryption research, quantum-resistant cybersecurity systems, and quantum communication networks that would operate independently of existing internet infrastructure controlled by American companies. This is not theoretical research. This is the construction of parallel digital architecture designed to make current American cyber advantages obsolete within a decade. Quantum computing represents the next fundamental shift in information technology. Traditional computers process information in binary bits that exist in either 0 or 1 states. Quantum computers use quantum bits that can exist in multiple states simultaneously, enabling computational power that increases exponentially rather than incrementally. For cybersecurity, quantum computing creates both opportunities and threats. Quantum computers could theoretically break current encryption methods that protect everything from financial transactions to military communications. But quantum encryption could also create communication systems that are mathematically impossible to intercept or decode. The country that achieves quantum computing superiority first controls the next era of global digital infrastructure. Every financial transaction, every military communication, every government database, every corporate network becomes either secure or vulnerable depending on who controls the quantum technology that protects or penetrates digital systems. For decades, the United States maintained a commanding lead in quantum research. American universities produced the foundational research. American companies like IBM and Google achieved the first practical quantum computing demonstrations. American defense contractors received the largest government contracts for quantum development. American intelligence agencies coordinated quantum research to ensure national security advantages. That lead is disappearing through allied coordination that excludes American participation. The Canada-Japan partnership brings together complementary capabilities that collectively match American quantum research capacity. Canada contributes advanced materials science through companies like D-Wave Systems, which built the world's first commercial quantum computers. Canadian universities provide theoretical physics research that supports quantum algorithm development. Canadian artificial intelligence companies bring machine learning expertise essential for quantum system optimization. Japan contributes precision manufacturing capabilities essential for quantum hardware production. Japanese semiconductor companies lead global production of the specialized materials quantum computers require. Japanese electronics manufacturers provide the ultra-precise control systems quantum computers need to maintain quantum states. Japanese research institutions bring decades of experience in quantum physics applications. Combined, Canada and Japan can develop quantum systems without depending on American technology, American companies, or American research institutions. Every component of quantum computing development, from theoretical research to practical manufacturing, can be completed through Canadian-Japanese cooperation. The strategic implications are transformative. Quantum encrypted communications between Canada and Japan cannot be intercepted by American intelligence agencies using current technology. Financial transactions processed through quantum secured networks bypass American financial system oversight. Military communications protected by quantum encryption operate beyond American signals intelligence capabilities. For the first time since the Internet was created, major allied nations are building digital communication systems specifically designed to exclude American access. The alliance established 3 parallel development tracks that will fundamentally alter global cybersecurity within 5 years. First, quantum encryption networks. Traditional encryption depends on mathematical problems that are difficult but not impossible to solve. Given enough time and computational power, any current encryption can theoretically be broken. Quantum encryption uses the fundamental properties of quantum mechanics to detect any attempt at interception. If someone tries to intercept a quantum encrypted message, the quantum state collapses and the interception becomes obvious. Canada and Japan are building quantum communication satellites that will provide quantum encrypted communication between Canadian and Japanese government agencies, military commands, and selected private sector partners. These communications will be mathematically impossible to intercept without detection, creating secure channels that operate completely outside American intelligence oversight. Second, quantum-resistant cybersecurity systems. When quantum computers become powerful enough to break current encryption, every existing digital security system becomes vulnerable. Financial networks, power grids, transportation systems, government databases, all protected by encryption that quantum computers can defeat. The Canada-Japan alliance is developing new encryption methods that remain secure even against quantum computer attacks. Countries and companies that adopt these quantum-resistant systems will maintain digital security. Those that rely on current American-controlled encryption standards will become vulnerable when quantum computers mature. Third, quantum internet infrastructure. Current internet protocols route communications through systems that American companies control and American intelligence agencies monitor. Quantum internet uses quantum entanglement to create communication channels that cannot be intercepted or redirected. Canada and Japan are building quantum internet infrastructure that connects their major cities, government facilities, and research institutions through communication channels that exist independently of current internet systems. This quantum internet will expand to include other countries that want secure digital communication without American oversight. The economic implications are staggering. Global cybersecurity spending exceeds $600 billion annually. Most of that currently flows to American companies that provide encryption software, security hardware, and cyber defense services. Quantum cybersecurity systems developed through Canadian-Japanese cooperation will compete directly with American products. Every government that chooses quantum encryption over American systems is revenue American companies no longer collect. Every military that adopts quantum-resistant cybersecurity is a customer American defense contractors no longer serve. American technology companies built their global market dominance on controlling foundational technologies that everyone else needed. When Canada and Japan can provide quantum alternatives to American cybersecurity systems, that monopoly collapses. The timeline is aggressive and achievable. First quantum communication satellites launch in 2028. Quantum-resistant encryption systems deploy to government networks in 2029. Commercial quantum cybersecurity products become available in 2030. Quantum internet infrastructure connects major Canadian and Japanese cities by 2031. Within 5 years, Canada and Japan will operate digital communication systems that American intelligence agencies cannot penetrate using current technology. American quantum research is extensive but fragmented. Different agencies pursue separate development tracks without coordination. Private companies compete rather than collaborate. Academic institutions guard research to maintain competitive advantages. The result is impressive individual achievements without integrated systems that provide comprehensive quantum capabilities. The Canada-Japan alliance eliminates that fragmentation through coordinated development that pools resources, shares research, and focuses on integrated systems rather than individual breakthroughs. Canadian quantum researchers share theoretical advances with Japanese manufacturing specialists who immediately begin developing practical applications. Japanese precision engineering improves Canadian quantum hardware designs. Combined research accelerates progress beyond what either country could achieve independently. American agencies watching Canadian-Japanese coordination are recognizing the strategic implications, but bureaucratic structures prevent equivalent American integration. The National Security Agency wants quantum capabilities for intelligence gathering. The Department of Defense prioritizes quantum systems for military applications. The Department of Energy focuses on quantum computing for scientific research. Private companies develop quantum products for commercial markets. None coordinate effectively because each organization protects its own priorities and resources. Canada and Japan are building quantum systems through integrated development that serves multiple purposes simultaneously. Quantum encryption networks provide both commercial cybersecurity and military communication security. Quantum internet infrastructure supports both scientific research and government operations. Quantum-resistant cybersecurity protects both private sector networks and national security systems. Integration accelerates development and reduces costs, while creating comprehensive quantum capabilities that exceed specialized American systems. The alliance is attracting additional partners from countries that want quantum cybersecurity without American oversight. Australia is contributing quantum algorithm research. South Korea is providing semiconductor manufacturing capabilities. Singapore is offering quantum networking expertise. Each new partner brings capabilities that strengthen the overall alliance while reducing dependence on American quantum research. What began as Canadian-Japanese cooperation is becoming multilateral quantum development that collectively matches American capabilities while operating independently of American coordination. For American intelligence agencies, the implications are catastrophic. Signals intelligence depends on intercepting and decoding communications. When major allies communicate through quantum encrypted channels that cannot be intercepted, traditional intelligence gathering becomes impossible. The National Security Agency built its capabilities on accessing communications that flow through systems American companies control. When allies build quantum communication networks that bypass American systems entirely, NSA loses access to intelligence that has shaped American strategic planning for generations. Financial intelligence depends on monitoring international transactions through banking networks that use American financial infrastructure. When countries conduct trade through quantum-secured financial systems that operate independently of American oversight, financial intelligence evaporates. Military intelligence depends on signals interception that reveals foreign military planning and capabilities. When Allied militaries communicate through quantum encrypted channels, American understanding of Allied military activities disappears. The transformation is already beginning. Canadian government communications with Japanese counterparts increasingly use early-stage quantum encryption that American intelligence cannot decode. Financial transactions between Canadian and Japanese companies use quantum-secured systems that bypass traditional banking oversight. Military coordination between Canadian and Japanese forces uses quantum-protected channels that exclude American monitoring. American intelligence agencies can still intercept the communications, but they cannot decode the content. Every encrypted message represents information that American strategic planners no longer access. The psychological impact on Washington is evident in congressional hearings, where intelligence officials describe capabilities degrading in real time. Senate Intelligence Committee members receiving briefings on quantum developments that they cannot discuss publicly but clearly recognize as threats to American cyber dominance. Pentagon officials acknowledge privately that American military advantages depend on intelligence capabilities that quantum encryption makes obsolete. State Department personnel recognize that diplomatic advantages erode when Allied communications operate beyond American oversight. The federal bureaucracy is responding with increased quantum research funding, but money cannot solve the fundamental problem. American quantum development remains fragmented across competing agencies and private companies. Canada and Japan are building integrated quantum systems through coordinated development that American bureaucracy cannot match. European allies are watching Canadian-Japanese quantum cooperation with interest rather than concern. Germany is exploring quantum partnerships with both countries. France is developing quantum systems that could integrate with Canadian-Japanese networks. The United Kingdom is considering quantum cooperation agreements that would expand the alliance beyond Asia-Pacific. European governments recognize that quantum cybersecurity provides strategic independence from both American oversight and Chinese cyber threats. Joining Canadian-Japanese quantum development offers security advantages without requiring dependence on either superpower. NATO allies are not opposing American interests deliberately, but they are prioritizing their own cybersecurity over American intelligence access. When those priorities conflict, allied governments are choosing quantum protection over American coordination. The precedent matters beyond cybersecurity. If allies can successfully develop technological capabilities that exclude American participation, other areas of supposed American technological dominance become questionable. Artificial intelligence research that excludes American companies. Renewable energy systems that bypass American technology. Space exploration that operates independently of American coordination. Each area where allies achieve technological independence reduces American leverage and influence. The Canada-Japan Quantum Alliance is the first comprehensive demonstration that major allies can develop advanced technology without American leadership. Success encourages additional technological independence projects that further reduce American advantages. 20 years ago, American technological superiority seemed insurmountable. American companies controlled essential technologies. American universities produced leading research. American government agencies coordinated allied technological development. That coordination ensured American advantages persisted even as other countries developed their own capabilities. The Quantum Alliance breaks that pattern completely. Canada and Japan are developing technologies that surpass American capabilities while excluding American participation entirely. Trump wanted to demonstrate that allies needed American technological leadership. Instead, he motivated allies to develop technological independence that makes American leadership optional rather than essential. By the time Washington acknowledges the shift, Canadian-Japanese quantum systems will already provide cyber capabilities that American intelligence cannot penetrate. Quantum communication networks will already operate beyond American oversight. Allied technological cooperation will already function independently of American coordination. History does not reverse because it is misunderstood. Cyber superiority is shifting from American dominance toward multilateral technological development that excludes American control. Digital communication is restructuring around quantum systems that operate beyond traditional American oversight. Technological leadership is distributing among allies who choose cooperation over subordination and discover they can achieve more together than under American coordination they can no longer trust.